Not the first time in my life I've had to do something like that.
We can talk about, this is a therapy session, we can talk about that.
Exactly. I'm on the couch. I'm going to just lay down. Is that okay?
Listen, do you want to do the, since you're our guest today?
No, you can do it.
Okay,
You're the director.
I've never done it before. Here
Right.
we go.
Okay.
Take 50. No, I don't know. Take 5. 1.
Yeah, because this is so scripted.
We have to do it multiple times to
Right.
get it right. Obviously,
Yep.
the one we put up there is the best one. Every
Right. That is, well, that's sad.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Welcome to Lunch Break, everybody. We're so glad that you're here today. I'm Meredith, and I've got Jaron here with us.
Hello.
That's it. It's not Jay. He's
Nope.
got more hair than Jay.
Heck yeah,
For
I do.
sure.
Yeah. Hanging on to that as long as I can.
Right. And a throwback to previous lunch breaks, you're not as vintage as Jay either. So
I'm leaving that one alone completely.
it was on me, Jay. It was on me. But we're here today with Jaron because he's going to be preaching for us this weekend. Jay's
right.
here. He's going to be here. But you'll be in the pulpit. That's
I will.
exciting.
Yeah. It's
We
fun. It's
always-
been a while, so I'm excited to get back in
always
there.
do a great job. We're
Thank
always
you.
excited when you do. We've had Nolan the past couple of weeks.
That's
We've
right.
had him up there on stage.
He was fantastic. He was
He's-
great.
Gosh, 19.
Yeah, I heard that. Is that true? Like, oh
Absolutely,
my
it's
goodness,
true.
19. I'm thinking of myself when I was 19.
Right?
No, like nothing close to that. Professional
Right.
or talented at anything.
I mean, he was just amazing.
It's fantastic. So
He's,
yeah.
we mentioned this in the last lunch break, but he's, I believe, taken a job as the contemporary worship pastor for that service down in Valdosta.
Okay.
So he'll be going
nice.
down there in a few weeks.
Very cool.
So, yeah.
That's awesome. Well,
Got
we
big
were
plans and-
so like lucky and blessed and fortunate to have him for for those 2 weeks. It was great. He connected with the congregation. Like it was great.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job.
Yeah.
So this week we have a guy named Denver.
Denver. Yep.
Yes.
I love that name.
I know.
It's cool.
It is cool. Nolan and Denver.
Right.
And some,
Very trendy names.
I
I like
know.
it. Yeah.
I know, but we're excited to see him and see what differences he brings to the table. Because, change it up a little bit since we miss Colt so much that
Yeah.
it would be fun to change it up.
And he's almost back. Colt's almost back, right? Like
Almost.
just we're getting there.
Yes, I believe he'll be back on the 1st.
Okay.
But just not leading worship. He'll be
Gotcha.
able to just sit and enjoy.
Nice. Well, that'll be unique for a worship pastor. That does not happen very
know.
often. So
Well, that's kind of
cool.
what Jay gets to do this weekend too.
Exactly.
He just gets to sit and enjoy the service.
Yep.
So, but yeah, I'm excited to meet Denver and see
Yeah, that's gonna be cool.
what he can do. Well, since you're preaching for us this week,
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about what we're going to hear from you.
Okay, so we're nearing the end of Mark. We're to kind of the crux of the whole
Getting
of
there.
the entire scripture really. We're at the crucifixion scene, and so the scripture we're going to be in, we're going to be dealing with actually the moment where Jesus is he's just talked with Pilate. They've just kind of handed him over to be crucified, so he gets scourged and beaten and mocked and all these kind of things, and then led to the cross and crucified. So this is kind of the everything, the culmination of so much of the story. And as I've been studying it and reading through it, we've talked about the lullaby effect.
Yes.
I mean, if you're a Christian, if you've been around church, you've heard the story so many times. And what's amazing to me is how layered Scripture is. Like that feeling of no matter how many times you read something or hear something, it just seems like there's always something else. There's always a nugget, a
Right.
layer, a richness, a depth, whatever that is. And so
And depending on where you are in your walk
absolutely,
and where you are in your life
like,
and what you're dealing with.
I'm different. Not that Scripture is different. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. And so as I've been reading and studying this, comparing the account of Mark to some of the other, accounts of the crucifixion, what stood out to me, and some of the reading I did on this, is as brutal as the crucifixion was. I mean, the Romans devised this as the most painful way they could come up with to execute someone, and there's been a lot made of how physically like horrible it is, and it was obviously. And I mean, if you watch like the Passion of the Christ, like that just. That stands out to you, just the physicality of it, the grotesquerie of it. And so not to minimize, obviously, any of that, but Mark goes out of his way not to really go into that. Like as much as that's a truth, a reality of the story, he doesn't downplay it. He just doesn't go into a lot of detail about the physical nature of it. And the part of the story we're in now, he spends so much time talking about the emotional toll of it. He digs into and he explains in great detail the mockery, the all of those kind of things, the abandonment from his disciples, the mockery of the soldiers, of people in passing, like, why don't you save yourself? All of these kind of things. Like, he really goes in on these details, which that raises a whole lot of interesting questions, right? Of all the things to focus on, why that aspect of the story for Mark? There must be something really important there. And so that's kind of what we're going to dig into. Like, what does that mean for us? What do I do with that? Why does Mark make such a big deal out of that? What does that mean for me? What am I supposed to do with that? Where do I take that? I mean, there's a lot of really interesting conversation that can come out of that. And when we're dealing with a world in which mental health crises are at an all-time high and anxiety is just rampant, I think there's a lot that we can draw out of there from how Jesus dealt with the emotional toll of what he went through and how he responded or didn't respond, and what that means for us. So yeah,
I'm excited to hear.
That's where we're headed.
Great.
So
excellent.
We'll see. Yeah, it's kind of a new thought for me. Like, it's one of those things I haven't really bumped on in the past, of just that emotional side of things. You're always kind of taken in by the physical nature of it, like how brutal and how violent and how physically painful. And yes, that's all true, but there's also the emotional aspect of it. And I think a lot of times we can downplay that, but the physical pain is so much worse. And it's like, well, if you've been through emotional hardship, you know that can be as difficult, sometimes even more difficult than physical pain. So I think it'll be some really interesting conversation.
Absolutely. And because we are looking at it in hindsight, we can break down all this. Yes, of course there was the physical, but we have the opportunity to really break down some of the other aspects of it that in the moment, I'm sure it was just, wow, I mean, yeah.
Well, and why Mark specifically chose to highlight that aspect of the story. That's really interesting to me. So yeah, it'll be good.
That'll be good. And this Sunday is our last Soap Sunday event.
That collection's getting big out of the lobby. That's really cool to see. I mean, we just did the cereal thing, and that was like over the top, crazy. Like, that was so, did we ever get a count? I don't think we did. I saw pictures of all
your
of it.
son, we talked about this last week on the lunch break. Your son, Keegan, really has a knack for guesstimation. Just looking at things and saying 49. Boom, that's how many there are. He's done that at youth. I'm telling you, I will stand there at youth the Sunday night, and I'll say, all right, Keegan, how many kids do you think are here? And he's like, 47. And I'll count, and it's like, how did you know that? Promise me you didn't count.
Right, he didn't actually go around and like.
So his estimate was like 150 to 200 boxes. It was too many to like really know because they were hiding
and they were getting moved around. Yeah,
correct. So we'll give him allow him to do a range.
But that's just so cool. So yeah, and on the heels of that, seeing how much of the soap and toothpaste and all these kind of things are coming in, and just that's awesome, guys. Thank you. Yeah.
Because we can directly bless this community around us through this directly. Like, the food pantry is open. It was open earlier today.
Yeah.
And we gave out food and toiletries and other things that, directly, immediately bless the community.
Absolutely. So it's just so amazing to see and be a part of. So yeah.
And then also we have Elder Affirmations coming up.
That's right. That's coming up in just a couple weeks, right?
Jay talked about that from the pulpit on Sunday, and so there's information in the lobby about that. But also, if you check your Northwest News, you'll see that it's in there.
Yep, it's in there. If you do grab one from the lobby, I noticed this, it's front and back. So make sure, because we have 3 elders that are up for either reaffirmation or kind of coming back in, and so there is a backside to it. So don't make that mistake.
Good reminder. Good reminder. But it's on the website, or it's on Northwest News too, so you can find it there. And then I did also just want to mention, and we do need to mention it at some point on Sunday. Okay. Okay. But he doesn't want us to make a big deal about it.
Okay.
But Sunday is Jay's birthday. Okay, Sunday is Jay's birthday. Okay. And again, he's not preaching, obviously, but he will be here. So he was like, Meredith, do not sing happy birthday to me from the stage, which of course I would not. He doesn't actually want me singing. That's actually, I mean, that's a good call on his part.
I don't think he wants anyone singing.
But
Happy
more,
Birthday.
that's what he was saying. Really, he was like, no, don't need a song, don't need whatever. But definitely find him.
Yeah.
This Sunday and let him know that you appreciate him and tell him happy birthday. And
invite him to the Vintage Legacy group.
I
See, I
know,
did it.
right?
I couldn't resist. That
was him that time. It was not me. But it's his birthday. So, but he doesn't want a big to-do for real.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm sure he would appreciate people wishing him a happy birthday.
Yeah.
So,
Very cool.
all right. Anything else going on that you want to talk about? Let me ask you this real quick. What are you working on right now other than
I'm working
preparing?
on really exciting stuff right now.
Okay.
I'm working on the budget for 2024.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be doing something. About that.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it's that season. We want to have the budget done by mid fall, so we can present it to the congregation and all that kind of stuff. And so we're in the thick of it now, or at least I am. That's a big chunk of what I'm spending my time on right now, is trying to get all that kind of lined out for next year. Right. What does 2024 look like? How do we think we're going to grow? Where are we going to allocate resources? And that's a whole thing. That's a lot of a lot of balls in the air. So that's what I'm working on. So I'm in spreadsheets a lot, which for most people is not fun.
I'm going to tell you, as an English person, that sounds horrendous. And I would have a hard time getting up and coming to work in the morning if I had to do that.
I have to confess, I'm not that way at all. There was something I was late to yesterday because I lost track of time because I was in spreadsheets, and I was like, oh wait, I have a thing to go get to.
Spreadsheet geek, that's what you are. Okay,
yep.
I got it.
I may or may not have built some score cards for when we play cards. I like trackers and stuff that you can just plug it in and it does all the formulas for you. I am definitely one of those guys. So I know you guys are out there too. I'm not the only one. So come say hi to me, and we'll talk about how exciting Excel is.
I mean, I do love some organization. Don't get me wrong. I do love some organization, but with the number, no.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for taking care of that.
Absolutely.
So that it doesn't fall on my commute. The people like me, okay, that don't want to do it, doesn't fall on our plate. So
Right.
thank you for doing that.
Happy to help.
Okay. Well, thanks for being here today.
Yeah, thank you. This is
Yeah.
fun always.
Yeah, I love it too. All right. We'll see you next week, and hopefully we'll see you on Sunday. It's Jay's birthday. Don't forget, tell him happy birthday, and thanks for joining us.